This is a story about a young man named Samuel who ran away from home to create a new life for himself. Sam came from a wealthy family. His parents owned several meatpacking industries, and since he was a little boy, Sam's parents raised him, never questioning the fact that Sam was going to take over the family business. But Sam felt different. He felt destined to do great things, to explore the world, and to become an artist. Sam grew up and learned never to express his passion for art, for his parents scolded him when he even mentioned the topic. They wanted him to be successful and to make big money so that he could take care of his parents when they grew old, and he just couldn't do that as an artist. But Sam wasn't just a passive listener. He understood that he could never be happy running his father's meatpacking industries. He realized that he must leave home if he were to ever find happiness. Sam was 16 when he first tried to run away, but his parents caught him and scolded him for days. Time came and Sam turned 18 years old. This time, he was prepared, and he quietly set forth in the middle of the night with only the food in his hand and the resilient strength of his mind and his passion. That night, Sam left his home and walked the path of reason. He walked all night and was so tired that he didn't even realize that he had walked into a run-down little village called Romans. Suddenly, he bumped into a small cheerful man who, to Sam's surprise, offered him a place to stay. Sam gratefully accepted and walked into his shabby home, about a one-bedroom shack that was about 10 times smaller than Sam's previous home. For the first time in his life, Sam realized that not all people lived as luxuriously as he had. However, Sam realized that this poor man was more honest than any man he had ever met in his life. He followed no traditions he did not believe in. He exchanged no fake words of kindness to men that he despised. And this man just did what he wanted. And after a good night's rest, Sam waved goodbye to this little man, and he left the little town of Romans, just a little bit more reckless and daring than before. He continued down his path and wondered how he could pursue his dream of becoming an artist. He looked up, and he saw the beauty of the green trees and the animals all around him that he had never noticed before. Momentarily, he was shocked by the sudden transformation of this world. He saw things he had never seen before. He observed the birds picking the twigs to bring back for their nests, and the squirrels poking around in the trees looking for acorns. And it was this day that Sam felt a new sense of spirituality. It was this day that Sam found something more important than intelligence: intuition. One day, as he continued onto nature's path, Sam saw a man taking notes on the insects, mice, and snakes in nature. The man told Sam that his name was Walt and went into a long and tedious speech about how America must mimic nature's harmony in order to achieve ideal democracy. At first, Sam thought the guy was full of nonsense, but then he understood what he was trying to say. Although Walt was idealistic, he had a vision of a world unlike the present, and he was trying to do all he could to make it come true, and Sam greatly admired that. He left Walt with more knowledge, and he saw the reality of people's ways, about how they revolved around money, making more money, and finding ways to make more money. Sam made a note not to get lost in this crowd. It was here that Sam got a little bit lost on his journey. Although he now felt more independent, Walt's words had left him wondering about society. He met a few people in the next town that he came upon. The little town was called Maderno, and the people he met here were all radically independent. Also, they were distrustful of all established institutions. Sam soon felt the same as they did. Sam then spent 2 months in this town, and it took only a sharp contrast of his current life to the artistic life that he had dreamed of to pull him out of this mindset. Finally, Sam got past the village of Maderno, and he entered the world with a new set of perspectives, making sure not to get lost in the same sense of hopelessness once again. And so Sam continued on his journey.